welcome to another in-season edition of the Club 303 podcast. A little bit over a month into the games now. Got some more things to digest and kind of a pretty good sample size finally of things to see how the season might go for some teams and some players. And we're going to hop right into it. The idea today was to talk about the division leaders and our teams. Well, for three out of the four of us, that's the same thing. Not for me though, so I'll let you guys start. You all are fans of division leading teams. And whoever wants to start can go ahead.
Fuck it. I'll talk about the Yankees any chance I get. A month in, you know, we've gotten through some rough patches coming off of a pretty shaky couple series there with, Kansas City and a couple other teams. Looked good tonight against Tampa Bay with Fried on the mound. Really, anytime Fried's on the mound, we look pretty damn good. It's just the other 4 days of the week that you got to worry about. Um, a solid record so far, a solid lead in the AL West or AL East. Feeling pretty good a month in. How could you not? The offense is a little shaky. I wish Jazz would wake up a little bit. I wish some of the other bats would kind of come to life. But hey, man, you really can't hate. I mean, being in first place, this is about where I wanted to be at this point in the season. It's about where they have been in the past couple seasons, really starting off the year in first place. This is what they did last year. So if history is an indicator of anything to come, this is a pretty good setup this year for what I'm hoping for. So I wish the bullpen would perform a little better. Obviously, Luke Weaver just getting moved into the closer role semi-permanently, hopefully permanently, while Devin Williams remembers how to throw a baseball. Um, you know, you kind of have to go with what you go with at this point, and whoever Aaron Boone runs out there is just what you're going to get. Jack Leiter might throw a strike. He might not. He might give up a couple bombs. You never know. It's just the bullpen is so unpredictable. Fried is phenomenal. Um, Go Yankees. That first place team, whatever. Fuck the Blue Jays. Fuck the Red Sox.
No, exactly. Like the Yankees, they've obviously exceeded my expectations. I was low on them. I thought they were going to come out of the gates rocky and not perform that well. But I also didn't expect Aaron Judge to. Literally, we just got into May, and the guy is running away with the AL MVP.
Historical season.
I honestly be shocked at this point. I'd be pretty surprised if he does not win it by the end of the year. He has a 430 average right now. He has 10 home runs, which is tied for first. He's an OPS of almost pretty much like 1300. Like it just stupid stats for him. So he's kind of like in a way you can say like that's probably not like obviously not gonna last the whole season. The rest of the offense has to pick up, but I think they probably will. Fried, I don't think
you've even got the guys like hitting around Judge. Really, like I don't know. He's boosting like Ben Rice. It feels like, and he's boosting like a lot of the other guys on the team that just kind of need that fire under him to hit around him. Yeah, I don't know. I'm all in on Judge this year, obviously.
Yeah, they just need other guys like to somewhat step up, but I think they will. It'll be interesting to see who kind of does because it's like Volpe at times look like dog shit. And obviously like Jazz, we like at times is like his hot streaks kind of it's been typical Jazz season I would say for so far, and then like on the pitching side, if you care about wins and losses, I don't think Max Fried has lost a game so far. I think he's just
not
went
6-0 today.
Yeah, exactly. Like he just continues to win. The Yankees are doing really really well right now.
Said it once, I'll say it again. Aaron Judge, Mr. April's left man.
Say we'll see where he is come October this time.
I'm not gonna get too deep into my my Aaron Judge takes, as the group chat found out a couple nights ago. I'll leave it where it is.
I don't know. I do think that Judge is still somewhat in his prime, and he's kind of proven it this year. And he kind of had a lot on his plate. I feel like with Soto being gone, and I think that's part of the reason a lot of us were low on the Yankees this year. But Mr. Stokes got to be pretty happy with the way things are going in the Bronx. So cheers to you.
Yanks.
Moving across to the West Coast, Mr. Slade. Your Mariners also in first place after a couple of nights early on in the season where you were shouting about a lot of things, yelling at crosswalks in the group chat, and now you got to be pretty happy.
Yeah, it was very much. I as we speak right now, the Mariners are 10-0 against the Rangers. If they do win this game, which obviously they should, they'll move to 4-0 against them. And that really was a turning point. Like when I think my crosswalk rant was probably when they had dropped to 3-7, I believe it was. And they were going into this Rangers and Astros series where they had to turn it around, or like the season was going to be in the gutter at that point. Because at that point, the Rangers I think had already had like a 4 or 5 game lead on us because they came out of the gates hot. And yeah, the Mariners have done that. Jorge Polanco post knee surgery is just literally Barry Bonds. Cal Raleigh has a 2-run home run today. Literally, I would say those two guys in the American League are Judge's running with the AL MVP. I think Cal Raleigh and Jorge Polanco are probably like at least top 5 right now and like the AL MVP running. It's been a weird year for the Mariners. The rotation has honestly not been as good as it should be. Luis Castillo's come out slow. Bryce Miller's come out slow. George Kirby's right now injured, but he's coming back. You've had Emerson Hancock and Logan Evans starts, but they haven't killed you. And Brian Wu honestly has been the best pitcher so far this season. So it's been a weird year for the Mariners. I think they are still first in WRC plus team ranking wise, which is something I did not expect. So it's just been a weird but really, really fun year for the Mariners so far.
And then quickly, we
About to
can
say,
just go ahead.
yeah, Cal Raleigh's a dog, and I mean, if Aaron Judge doesn't win MVP, I think that Cal Raleigh pulls away with that award.
Honestly, that's the thing. Again, the guy is crushing on the offensive side, which obviously Judge can do. But Cal Raleigh does have the Platinum Glove award. Meanwhile, Judge is right now infamous for dropping fly balls and when the lights are bright.
Yeah, I haven't heard about that as much so far this season as I thought I would, but hey.
We can start again. We gladly will.
Well,
I don't. I mean,
let's say
that's not me
bringing it
saying we
back.
should start again.
We're investing at the very bottom of Aaron Judge hate. No one's doing it right now because he's too hot. We're gonna invest when it's bottomed out.
Moving on to the AL Central, quickly, the Detroit Tigers are one of the more complete teams in baseball right now, specifically in the American League. Obviously, the National League this year so far is a lot better than the American League as a whole, but the Tigers, like even with some key guys not performing super well, like Riley Green, they're still the top team in the league. Cleveland's only a couple of games back, but long term, I think the Tigers are going to run away with that division.
Yeah, like honestly, like at the top of the American League, it really is hard to tell who's the best team. Like if you asked me a week ago, it was the Tigers. If you asked me today, it might be the Mariners, but I'm obviously biased in that. And then obviously again, the Yankees are the Yankees. It's so hard to tell who's top. But if I had to the Tigers are just so good. The pitching staff, with Casey Mize, Jackson Joe, obviously Schoolball at the head. The bullpen's good. Like Will Vest is he's a former Mariner who's just suddenly turned on. He's a great bullpen piece for him. And they have Javi Baez in center field who's just making crazy defensive plays. He's really turned it around. I don't have his stats up in front of me, but it seems like he's reinvented himself almost, which is just the last thing I expected. I think it's the Scott Constable found his way into the building, but
Could be.
yeah, the Tigers. The Tigers
I will say,
might be the best.
I will say about Javi Baez, so far, a lot of these highlight plays that he's making in center field that MLB posts every time he does it because he's playing out of position, a lot of them are because he doesn't know how to get jumps in the outfield. Let's be real.
So I've seen there's been a couple plays at the wall that were especially the one I think it was last night against the Angels. That one was really good. And then there was another one. I forget what game I was watching. I don't know. It was probably last weekend where he had another play running at the wall, collided with the wall, but he made the catch. To where it's working out better than O'Neal Cruz, who switched over to center field, and he's the worst defender in baseball. So gotta give credit to Javi. He's decent out there.
Hard for me too, but I will. Moving on to the NL. We'll finish last with the Central since it's got two teams, two fans of teams in that division. We'll go to the East, and right now the Mets, who are currently whooping up on the Cardinals as we speak, 21-11. We all had concerns about their pitching coming into the season, especially with the injuries that happened in spring training. But so far, it's not been an issue, and they're elite at home, 13-3.
Yeah, like it's been a crazy year for them. Yeah, the pitching has definitely like stepped up, and it's not been bad at all for them. And then you got like P. Alonso, who obviously bet on himself and came back. He's in the NL MVP conversation. He's definitely top three right now. He's going crazy. Lindor's doing well. Juan Soto, who I'm sure we'll talk about a lot. Talking about this team, like has not been great. And there are like again for Tina is at the top of the division. You do see a lot of almost negative headlines, and they all circle around Juan Soto. But when you get past that, again, the team's playing well. We're getting into the summer. I'm sure Juan Soto will turn around, and we'll see how it goes from there.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, my only thing with the NL East, I mean, kind of surprised that the Mets are ahead right now, but I think part of it has to do with how bad that the Braves are playing right now. And none of us expected the Braves 1 month into this season to be under 500, which is just
well,
kind of still bizarre to me.
I was gonna, point out though, you gotta. I mean, they've after starting as bad as they did, they're up to only 2 games below 500. They're going a little bit around. They're getting back up there.
Yeah.
Already have passed the poverty Marlins and Nationals into third place for the division. So I think this is still going to be a tight race to the end, like we all expected.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was just a matter of time before I think the Braves will inch up, maybe back to first place, maybe by the end of this month. We'll see.
I think the Braves are right now really kind of the stomping dog of like the entire division. Like they're just kicking it around like a can. The Mets are completely untouchable at home. I wonder if Juan Soto, when what he mentioned about like being pitched before Judge, having the best hitter in baseball behind you, how much that's affecting his hitting this year now that I mean, he's got Pete Alonso behind him, and Pete Alonso, like you guys have mentioned, is a fantastic hitter, but it is still a different approach. I think the adjustment, like the entire adjustment, like organization and everything, is kind of taking a toll on him. I don't know. The entire division is just how good the Mets are and how bad the Braves are, and there's little in between there. So I think the way it is now is pretty close to the way it's going to end, honestly, in terms of ranking wise. The Braves could kind of creep back up and start winning some games and get hot later in the season. Obviously, it's a 182 game or 162 game marathon, so what are you going to say at the end of the season? But I do think that there is a lot of room for improvement there, but I still think like the way it is now kind of is roundabout what we're gonna see at the end of the season.
That's the like the vibe around the Braves has just been weird too. Obviously with the Cunha stuff with like Snicker, like Kelnick got sent down. Obviously I care about it as a former Mariners or like as a Mariners fan with a former Mariner. And then it's like the Phillies I think will be the team that's probably like it's gonna be them and the Mets I think. And then it'll be interesting to see when Acuna comes back to the Braves if that really jolts them and he gets them I think back to the division conversation versus like I think at this point, if you're a Braves fan, you're just hoping to like sneak into that last wild card. But yeah,
Speaking of the wild card, the NL West, and it's shaken out so far just about how we thought it would. The Rockies are historically bad, 6-25. Everybody else above 500 and within 5 games of first place. But right now, the Dodgers are in first at 21-10.
yeah, it's by far the best division in baseball. Yeah, the Rockies down there who are historically bad. We'll probably talk about them more in a different episode. They're on a 2 game win streak, so there goes the Rockies. Don't let them
The
get hot
Rockies are
again.
hot.
Exactly, but no, again, the Dodgers are, and it's more like it's not even like Otani's going crazy, like you see with like the Yankees and Judge. Like that's part of the reason the Yankees have success. It's not Otani or even Mookie. It's guys like Tommy Edman is just like producing, and they're getting like Tony Gonsolin came back. He had a good start, and like they're just getting and Yamamoto is like kind of almost running away with the NL Cy Young. I feel like at this point. Um, and then yeah, the D-backs are very good. Like Corbin Burns needs to step on the pitching side. The offense looks good there. The Giants, I think, are going to fall back. I think they got off to that hot start, and we kind of all bought in them. But I think they're going to fall back, and they still might be a wild card team, but I think they are going to, like, and we kind of are always somewhat seeing it, that they are going to, like, not keep up this pace. And the Padres, I don't know what to think about the Padres, really. I think the Padres are very, very good, but I think, like, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to keep. They're not going to keep pace with the Dodgers. I think the Padres are going to be a very good team, and they're going to be forced in the NL playoffs. But I don't think they're. I don't think they're going to keep up with the Dodgers for the division.
The series between Arizona and the Yankees, that was some that was probably the most exciting series I've seen from them regular season in the past like 2.5 years. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Yankees D-backs World Series this year just because of the way things are lining up. It would be incredibly entertaining. The Dodgers are great. I mean, they've got a lot of their kind of below average guys doing really well, kind of like Slater was mentioning, specifically with Tommy Edman. I'm completely blown away with how well he's performed so far this season. The Padres, I don't know. I can never gauge the Padres until like August, just because they never feel it. Nothing feels set in stone with them until super last minute. So I'm fully anticipating to see like an incredible playoff series between the Dodgers and the D-backs. I do think your Cy Young and your MVP are going to come from that same division. It's kind of a given at this point. I don't know. Dodgers are Dodgers still.
I was just like, I will add on a little bit, like to what I said earlier, but like it's almost like it's weird that, like, again, the Giants and Padres are above the D-backs, but I almost trust the D-backs more. Versus, like, the Padres and Giants are one of the teams where I'm like, it is May, and I want to see, like, what they look like when we get to, like, June and July. And then, like, I'll start talking about them. Like, the way they look now, like, when you look at the Giants who have, like, a 19-13 record and a win percentage of, 590, like, that's legit. But, like, if they have that, we're in, like, June 1st, then I'll be taking it seriously. But yeah, with the Padres and Giants, I just want to see more of it versus the D-backs. I just trust them on paper and what they've shown so far a little bit more than those two teams, I think.
I just think it's crazy as a whole. A month into the season, 4 of the 5 teams are above 500. So I just think that's, and I think looks like they're the only division in baseball right now where that's the case.
It's going to be a fight all the way to the end for sure. And now we will hop over finally into my and Pat's division, the NL Central. We'll start with the team towards the bottom, not at the bottom, thank you, Pirates, but the Cardinals are just so back and forth. 10-5 at home, 4-13 on the road. Hitting's good, pitching in the rotation is okay, but shaky. The bullpen has been atrocious outside of Kyle Leahy and Ryan Helsley, and even Helsley has had two like bad outings, which hey, closers are going to have a bad outing every once in a while. They're at 14-18. It's a year of seeing what you got in young guys. I can't be that upset. I would be less upset if the Cubs weren't having an incredible season so far.
I was gonna say on the Cardinals, like I've been watching a good amount of Cardinals to support my boy Machine, and it is kind of what he said. I mean, I will say the whole division outside of the Cubs is kind of been like this, where you just have no idea what they're gonna look like on a given day, whether it be the Reds, Brewers, and Cardinals in that mid part. You just don't know. Like on some days they look like they're good and can like kind of compete for try and compete for the Cubs at the top there, but all of them have kind of shown also glimpses of just like major flaws. Cardinals are like that. They show bright spots. I'm obviously disappointed. Like Fetty's been terrible. Helsley, like Machine said, has been up and down. Um, but again, you've had guys like Jordan Walker. Again, looks like a big league player. Like he's doing well, so that's always a plus. Arenado is playing well. I think he's increasing his trade value because he's probably going to get dealt at the deadline. Sadly, maybe to my Mariners. We'll see how the injury front goes there, but yeah.
It would be really interesting to see Arenado in the American League.
It'll be interesting because he's got that no trade clause too, and when I literally just opened up the idea.
Seattle's not on the list, by the way.
Yeah, but I mean,
We'll
where
see.
where does he think he's gonna go? Like, I don't know. I guess he just wants to stay in St. Louis, and all the power to him. Like Cardinals, it's gonna be a Bradley Beal situation of just you'll have a guy on the
Everybody
team
wants
that.
to stay at home until the Yankees come calling.
Well, I think the Yankees are on the list, but anyway, regardless, we'll see. Obviously, the list can change. It's his list. The Cubs, though, having a really good season. Fucking Carson Kelly, are you shitting me, dude? A guy was a glove first, no bat in the Cardinals organization for so many years. He's bounced around being a guy that can only hit against lefties around the league, Diamondbacks, Tigers, another team in there, the Rangers. And now he's with the Cubs, and he just said, "Oh yeah, I finally figured it out. Fuck everybody else."
I tell you what, I could not be more happy to be a Cubs fan and now a Carson Kelly fan. I mean, holy shit, that guy is something else. Currently, the Cubs are 19-13 atop of the NL Central. Couldn't be happier, like I said. Currently leading 10-0 over the Brewers, going belt to ass, led by 2 PCA home runs. He's up to 8 on the year. Shout out Machine. The more you prey on his downfall, the better he does. So keep doing that. And they've had the toughest strength of schedule so far. And I think it's really impressive that they lead the MLB in average, RBIs, stolen bases, runs, run differential, hits, and triples. And then they're third in home runs behind Mr. Stokes' Yankees and the Dodgers. So, I mean, the offense has just been producing like crazy. And then if you look at the bottom of the order, batters 7, 8, and 9, they have 17 home runs, which is best in the league from the bottom of the lineup. And so to get that productivity from the bottom is a huge plus for an offense that's already leading the MLB. And then in yesterday's 8-3 win against the Pirates, they faced Rookie of the Year Paul Skeens, had 3 home runs in 1 inning. I think that's the first time that Skeens has given up 3 home runs in 1 game. And they only limited him to 2 strikeouts. So really, really, really happy about what I've seen from what's going on with the boys in Chicago. One other stat, they finished April with a franchise record of 6 players hitting 5 or more home runs, and that includes our boy PCA and Carson Kelly.
Just zip it up when you're done. Wipe your mouth. It's disgusting.
Well, I was gonna say with the Cubs, like there, it is like since that like even like how the main thing for me is like how the Cubs looked against the Dodgers after outside the Korea or Japan series. Obviously, it was kind of weird, weird situation for the Cubs. Ever since they have come to the mainland United States for regular season baseball games, one they've kind of handled the Dodgers. They looked really good in that series. They had that crazy series against D-backs where they had that one game that was, I think, like 14-13 or something like that. Just
And almost
absolutely
all the
insane
runs were
game.
after the 7th inning.
Yeah. So just an insane game there. Again, Kyle Tucker is you pretty much can already guarantee it. He is going to be top 3, I think, in AL MVP voting. I think he's going to get there
He's gonna hit the
easily.
market.
And then what was that?
He's gonna hit the market. Bye bye Chicago.
Probably exactly. But then and then PCA again after a sluggish start has just he's a man on fire right now. Because he does everything. Again, he's crushing the ball right now. He's getting a lot of extra base hits. He's obviously got the speed that we all know about. He's lethal on the base paths. He's literally one of the best defenders in baseball in center field. Towards the guy, we joke about somewhat, but the way he's playing right now, he is in the MVP
Stop.
conversation.
No. Stop.
He is getting there. It's not even this isn't even me trolling. It's a legit talking point now. Of the
agree.
Cubs obviously have Tucker there, but there are guys again like PCA is probably the next one that it's like this is a division winner, and this guy is so valuable to their success, and like he's going crazy. Like it's a legit thing now. I think.
He's just on a hot streak, but the peripherals still say that he's not good at the plate. He still has really bad hard hit rates and things like that. We'll see if it sticks. Do it for more than 2 weeks and we'll talk. Actually, we won't. I just won't address it. But I'm Hall of Fame
I
hater.
mean,
We've said that before.
his wins above replacements at 1.8, almost at 2, and at like only a month into the season. That's actually kind of crazy.
That's insane. I will say WAR always I feel like gives a lot to defense, probably more than it should.
And specifically
Versus, like,
center field.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
know,
say
but I mean,
but
what he's doing in center field is incredible. Like,
No,
I mean,
it
the
is.
routes that the routes he's taking is like simulated in MLB The Show or something. Like
No, it,
his catch percentage probability or whatever those stats are, it's
no,
unreal.
yeah, I stay pro PCA. I will say, but I will say like WAR. I feel like sometimes almost like if they're really good defensively, can almost be like mismanaged. Like for instance, like last year, like Dalton Varsho, elite center fielder, and again that carries value. He had like a WAR of like 5. I think it was like 5 on the dot, and like Dalton Varsho hit like I think 190 at the plate tour. It does like again vary. But yeah, again, PCA's been nuts. He is going to, because of all the things he does, like Pat said, how he is, I think, 100th percentile. I think statistically, he is the best defender in baseball, at least when I checked probably like a week ago. That carries a lot of value, obviously. MVP votes would
Yeah.
consider that.
Enough about that, Bozo. Let's talk about Eric Wagman.
We talk about Carson Kelly real quick.
No.
Also, I will say.
I got to go to the bar.
Fair enough.
It's valid. I'll
See,
be little spoiler alert. I'll be talking about him later.
yeah, we could talk about him then, I guess, unfortunately. Eric Wagman, man, the ride's been up and down. A little behind the curtains. We've tried to do this episode like 3 times since our last one, and it's just now worked out for whatever reasons. And I keep updating, his stats for this update, and it went from really, really bad to pretty good to now just about mid. And his stats right now: 6 doubles, 3 homers, 8 driven in. He's slashing 248, 298, and 402, right at a 700 OPS. His WAR went from negative like zero point 0.2 to positive zero point 0.2. Now it is at zero point 0.0. He is exactly, right down the middle, replacement level. Had a little hot streak. Uh, Slater, you got to see him play live. That must have been a dream come true.
Oh, it was thrilling. I will say when the game got close, I was terrified because I think he was on deck. I think for the lot like before the last out. So I was like, hey, God, if he comes up and like takes the lead against the Mariners here, like he's gonna kill me right here. But no, like looking at like Wagaman's like baseball savant, there's like a lot of red. It's actually like crazy when I looked at because I've been looking at it throughout the year, and like the guy in expected batting average is 92nd percentile. His expected batting average is 308. So like again, there's like a lot of the outlying numbers. Like Wagaman looks like a pretty good like decent player. That's why the Marlins are just like doing random stuff to get in the lineup. Like he was playing left field recently, like including the Mariners game I went to, which is weird because he's mainly like a first base DH guy, but they want to get Matt Mervis in the lineup. So yeah, he's a good player. Like when you look at his baseball savant page, there's a lot of red. So we picked the great player to support.
We love you, Eric Wagman. All right, so now we can move on. Quickly, I'll ask anybody got any call your number bets to throw out there? I don't this week. Been losing too much.
Nope.
I don't. I've been saving all of my bets for the Denver Nuggets
That's
playoffs
fair.
right now. So
That's fair.
I'm damn
Well,
near
we can.
cashed out on these bets, man. Can't
that's
get.
that's
Well,
what
real
I'm
quick,
saying.
let's get a prop bet for Game 7, Pat. One prop for Nuggets Game 7.
one prop I really like and I will place. at least a Jokic 30 plus and a 12 rebound game from him. I mean, it's game 7. He picks it up when he needs to, and in a game 7, you got to pick it up. So
Lock it
that's
in.
what I got.
Okay, we can move on now to the packed your bag segment. And we will start with the father of the pack your bag segment. I think I've done that a lot, but that's the way I like to do it. And I'm the host, so blow me. Andrew Slade, you got a Seattle Mariners reliever ready to be sent off.
Yeah, like Trent Thornton, he's still on the team. And I don't like Matt Brash is going to get activated. I think he's getting sent down right away. He came in this. He actually pitched today. I think it was a clean inning, but yeah, it's 13-0. So like, who really gives a shit? Like Trent Thorne is just. I've said a lot of mean things about him, throughout this year. And Dan Wilson keeps playing him in like the 7th inning too, and it literally makes me like makes me want to like blow my brains out whenever I see Trent Thorne like in the 7th inning or later. But yeah, so like that's really it. He's bad. He's gonna be packing your bags when Matt Brash is on this road trip. He's probably getting activated this weekend. Trent Thorne, you're going to Tacoma. Have a great time. Have a few Rainier beers. Just enjoy your time.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to add other than the stat that you were telling us last week about like how the percentage of his
Yes.
fly balls that leave the yard is insane.
Yes. It like again, this is last week, and like it's probably and against the Marlins, against the Marlins, I think he allowed a nuke. So I think it was on fly balls in the air against him. It was like a 41% or something like that home run rate, which is just stupid. As anyone like again, all like almost all of us have somewhat like pitching experience. To imagine any ball being hit in the air to you and literally just knowing like there's a 41% chance that ball is going like 40 feet over the fence is just incomprehensible.
In
That is
Seattle, no
freaking
less.
insane.
It literally is like that. It's almost like it truly was. Trent Thorne this year has at times been just almost like impressively bad. Is the best way to put it.
Speaking of impressively bad relievers, we'll move on to Stokes and his pack your bags player.
Yeah, hey, fuck Devin Williams. So it feels like he just can't shut the door. It cannot be done. He can't end the game. He just fucking it won't happen. It makes zero sense to me how little like productivity you get out of a closer that you trade for and you pay a shitload of money for. And the fact that they tried it for so long. Thank God Aaron Boone finally just got rid of it and is taking a break from running him out there in close game situations, especially when he just fucking blows it in horrendous fashion. It just shit hits the fan on him the minute a runner gets on base and it's over. And I know, and I said it last time, I know that he is not known as a 1-2-3 guy. Like, never during his time in Milwaukee was he known to just get 3 outs and get out. There was going to be, a ground ball or a fly ball or something to happen here and there, but he just can't get over the hump this year. And a lot of people have said that maybe April is his bad month. And in May is when you're going to see him get into the ones. Who knows, but we really don't have time to wait around and see in a division like this. Now, it's a division that right now kind of fucking sucks other than the Yankees, but we don't have time to let you figure it out when Luke Weaver is, well, I'm going to talk about him later, but when there's someone else in the bullpen who is absolutely fucking dealing. And so I'm glad they finally came to their senses, but pack your fucking bags, buddy. I hope you're gone by the deadline. I hope you were a 6-month Yankee. That's all I've got.
Is there any chance that it's the facial hair policy that has just it's
Yeah,
just like
and that's another
it's
thing
just-
that I need to complain about because who the fuck do you think you are to come into the fucking Yankees and complain about you have to shave your beard? granted, you look ugly as a motherfucker without it, but like to complain and make them change a 50-year-old policy that they wouldn't break for fucking Don Mattingly, are you out of your fucking mind? And then to have the balls and the audacity and the sack to go out there after doing that and suck, dude, and just have a kid, you're gone, dude. It's like getting a job and then just like calling in for 2 weeks, like right off rip, man. Like, what are you doing? Like, you don't have to do this. So I hope it's over soon. I hope it's all over soon.
We will
Alex,
see. Oh, we'll finish up with one more pitcher before Pat finishes it off with the hitter that should pack his bags. And my pack your bags player is not a guy that should pack his bags for the minor leagues or pack his bags for another organization. Charlie Morton, pack your bags for the fucking retirement home. It is over. Finally. This guy has been pitching for fucking ever. I was so pissed off that Adam Wainwright was so bad at the end of his career, but Charlie Morton, the same damn age, pretty much, was still shoving. And it just made me want to kill myself watching him pitch and win World Series with the Braves when he's so fucking old. And I was like, it's got to end. It's got to end sometime. And that time is now. 9.45 ERA. He might as well be the worst pitcher in baseball. He's a big reason why the Orioles are in last place when I think I had them going to the World Series, maybe even winning it in my predictions, or certainly making a playoff run. And right now they're at the bottom of the division because they can't pitch because they let Corbin Burns walk and they brought in Charlie Morton, and he's useless.
I was gonna say with Charlie Morton, like those situations in baseball where it's good to trade it out for a run. It's not good to do that though when it's your entire fucking start, pretty much. And that's been Charlie Morton this year. Just been god awful.
As a pitcher, he has a negative 1.1 WAR already. I mean,
as a pitcher, that's insane.
It's arguably too high. He's literally pretty much like lost him almost every time he's
Honestly, yeah.
appeared at Camden Yards.
time to hang him up, pal. That's all I gotta say.
Well,
All right, so Pat, tell us about the hitter that should pack his bags after the first month or so of the season.
I got Taylor Ward of the Angels, and it'll be pretty quick. Just a few stats I'll rattle off. He's hitting 183, and he was coming off of a pretty decent season last year, so I think the Angels were kind of expecting quite a bit more out of him, at least in this first month. Um, an OPS plus of 68 last year, he was at 109, so decent numbers there, and a WAR of negative 0.3. And like I said, the Angels 12 and 18 record, bottom of the AL West. So that's my pack your bags. See you, buddy.
It feels good for us to all be right about the Angels. Like they had that really hot start, and we were like, "There's just no way it's going to be sustainable." And if Taylor Ward, of all people for them, is playing like ass, then they might finish last in the division. I mean, the Athletics have been surprisingly good this season, so yeah, that might be
Yeah,
a
he's
sign.
he's gonna die. He's gonna die in an Angels uniform.
Is there a fate worse than that? I'm not sure there is.
No.
I mean, Otani was almost on that fate. I mean, Mike Trout's on that fate. I mean, it sucks to see, honestly. It's like dying with the Rockies.
I'm not gonna go down this road real quick, but I will say Mike Trout is injured again with the bone bruise. He came out of the game on like a ground ball to shortstop, and he's running to first. I don't know, like the bone bruise must have it somewhere else because like I don't know how the fuck you get bone bruise running to first base. But again, like as a Mariners fan, like I don't want to see Mike Trout healthy because it'll probably fuck us in the end. But also, it does kind of stink not to see one of the best players out there.
What's worse, a
Mike
bone
Trout
breeze
is
or
good
two
for
bad elbows?
baseball. Fuck off. I'm not doing this shit tonight, dude. I don't have it in me. I can't fucking do
sorry.
it tonight. Do not
sorry.
fucking
I'm sorry.
Okay,
fuck with
okay.
me.
All right. Let's get positive then. Let's move on to the positive segment that we finish up with, and that is the Stay Hot Watch. And now that I'm looking at it, I promise we watch other baseball and know about baseball other than our own teams. But once again, we got to stay hot watch where we all pick somebody from our favorite team. That won't happen every time, I promise. That's how it is here. We'll start with Slater, who talked about him a little bit earlier. You've got Jorge Polanco.
Yeah, Jorge Polanco is just absolutely fucking nuts right now. It cannot be a bigger just 180-degree turn from last year where Jorge Polanco was just lost for the most part at the plate. The guy literally is Barry Bonds. It's not even me joking. The guy is just producing every time he comes to the plate. He has 25 RBIs already this year. Um, he's just crushing the baseball. I had two home run game when I went, you know, the last time against that would have been the Angels. Really carried them through that game. He's only hitting from the left hand side because his knee is still fucked up after knee surgery. But he's still just crushing the baseball.
Might be the move permanently at this point.
Honestly, he truly has just carried the offense, and he's just an automatic hit. And even the Marlins game I went to, he had I think 4 RBIs in that game. The guy is just absolutely insane right now. He's producing every time he comes to the plate. He's pretty much what the Mariners have been missing for a while, which is just a hitter to come up to plate and you know they're gonna actually fucking do something.
Now, I will say, let's see how long, he's another one of those guys that doesn't exactly have a track record of being Barry Bonds. So we'll see if it's a hot streak or how
Nah,
sustainable a lot of it is. But that's baseball,
I'm fucking. I'm in. I'm in. I might have jinxed it, but again, is either him. I could have went with Cal Raleigh. This is actually the first time in a while with Stay High. I probably could choose multiple Mariners, whether it be Cal Raleigh, also Andres Munoz, who might be the best closer in baseball, arguably. But yeah.
All right, we'll move on to Pat now, and you can talk about Carson Kelly some more.
Yeah, I know we already glazed him a little bit, but let's do it some more. I was this close to going with PCA, and if we would have recorded this episode after today's Cubs game, I probably would have gone with PCA. But let's talk about Carson Kelly a little bit. He is he is hitting 360 right now with an OPS of 1.34, OPS plus of 277, and a wins above replacement of 1.5. And so if you would have told me at the beginning of the season that a month into the season we'd have Carson Kelly in the 4 hole, I'd tell you you are high as a kite, because who would have thought? And I truly do believe at this point Carson Kelly will be an all-star this year. I mean, and if he keeps staying hot this way, he could be a front runner for NL MVP, and I can't believe that those words came out of my mouth.
Makes me want to throw up, dude. It's ridiculous. Guy couldn't. I don't think the guy ever hit above 200 when he was with the Cardinals. Don't check me on that, but if he did, it wasn't much above. Definitely never 250. But I can't be that mad. He's figured it out. I don't hate Carson Kelly like I hate PCA. So we will see.
I was just say as person that lived in Arizona, Carson Keller's D-back had some great years there, but after he left, at the end of his tenure there and when he left, I thought he was just dead in the water. To where it is just crazy to see a man truly rise from the ashes, and he has literally a higher OPS than Aaron Judge somehow right now, which is
Somebody piss
just
test that
a
man.
crazy thing.
It's freaking insane.
From one failed Cardinal that's doing well now to another. Cardinals former first round pick, failed starting pitcher, never even profiled to have the stuff to be a good reliever. Once he was done starting, you would have thought this guy was going to be playing in indie ball. And instead, now he's the closer for the fucking New York Yankees.
Hell yeah, man. Fucking Luke Weaver, man. Weave Dog has still, as of right now, at the time we're recording this, 9:59, has a 0 ERA. Still, he has gone, let's see, 12 games, has pitched 14 innings, 3 hits, and 14 strikeouts. That is the fucking closer. I don't give a fuck about Devin Williams ever again. I am all in on fucking Luke Weaver, man. He is an absolute fucking dog right now. 0 ERA through a month of baseball. That is fucking nuts.
And unlike Carson
I
Kelly,
was gonna say, I mean,
Cubs. I am actually happy about that because like Luke Rivers got a good personality too, and I thought his career was over, and it's good to see him doing good things.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely stolen the job of Devin Williams, at least at this point in the season.
There's some sort of Cardinals justice somewhere in there. Anybody else got anything on Luke Weaver?
Former Mariner.
No, I
Oh,
mean,
I've always been on the bandwagon, but didn't work out in Seattle. And of course, I think his next team might have been the Yankees, and he's
It
clicked
was,
there.
yeah.
I mean, he's just a cool guy too. I mean, you love to see a guy like that have success.
Well, I'll wrap up here on the Stay Hot segment with Mason Wynn, who his numbers on the season still don't look amazing. But when you consider that he started the year, I think 0 for 19 with like double digit strikeouts, he had that bad of a start. And he's had a stint on the IL already. And he's up to a 247 average, 732 OPS. Like, if you would have seen the start that he had through the first 2 weeks of the season, and now by the end of a month into the season with time missed with an injury and his OPS is back up above 700, that kind of tells you how hot he's been since that bad stretch. Came off the IL and immediately had a really, really good series in Cincinnati, including a 2 home run game. They moved him up into the 2 spot in the order, and he's been thriving so far there the last few days. He's still young, still really young, only 23. He plays elite defense at shortstop. He's got elite speed, and he's starting to hit the ball around. And I think it's going to continue. It's going to turn into another good season after a really good rookie season last year.
I would say like Mason Wynn, like regular player. He came up. What day was that? Or it was like 9 a.m. my time, where I was like watching Mason Wynn. Literally just woken up, rolled out of bed, turned on the TV, and it's just Mason Wynn hitting a nuke in Cincinnati to open up a ball game. But again, he's a great defender. The bat is kind of again like Machine said, getting to where it's supposed to be, where he showed where it was last year. To where
All right.
You should get a Mason Wynn jersey machine.
I would consider it, yeah. But I'm a mark
Actually,
for Ramon Herrera. So if Herrera is on a rehab assignment right now from injury, if he comes back and starts hitting like he did before he went on the IL, that might have to be first on the list. I'm a big catcher guy, always have been. We'll see.
valid.
All right, anything else for the good of the order? A little shorter episode today. It's bar time,
Let's go
fellas.
Cubbies.
yeah, go Mariners.
Time to get
Team
drunk.
Go
one
Yanks.
victory today.
Shout out Apple.
Go Nuggets tomorrow night.
First light Apple back. Pacers are rolling. Almost done with school for the semester.
It's a
Things
good
worth
time to be
living for.
alive.
Good time to be alive. Oh, that'll do it for us from the Club 303 podcast this time around. Stick with us. Hop on the bandwagon now while you can before this thing takes off. See you.